Assalamualaikum student. We are going to start our new lecture, and in this lecture I am going to revise new assignment chapters. And in this assignment we are having three chapters: chapter number 7, chapter number 8 and 9, and I am going to revise all three chapters one by one. Chapter number 7 is about starting Excel 2013. Here we are going to learn about different things as we have already learned it, but I just have to go through all these three chapters. Okay, so in chapter number 7, how can we start Excel 2013? It's very easy. We have already done it. For that, if you are having Excel 2013 in your computer system, you just have to select start button, then all programs, and then we are having Microsoft Office 2013, and you have to click over there, and then we would have Excel 2013. After opening Excel, we have a blank workbook, and that workbook is having by default one worksheet, but we can add more worksheet over there. So what is the difference between worksheet and a workbook? A worksheet is a page that is having a grid of cells made up of rows and columns where we are supposed to write our data. And what about the workbook? In Excel, we are having different files, and Excel files, the one Excel file that is called workbook, and each workbook holds one or more worksheet. So it means when you are going to open Excel 2013, the file that is going to be appeared on your screen, that is your workbook, and that workbook is having multiple worksheet over there. Okay, let's talk about the parts of the Excel 2013 window, and here we are having a window over there, that is Excel window, and here we are having different parts. As you can see, we are having quick access toolbar, we are having title bar, name box, formula bar, active cell, we are having ribbon, we are having scroll bar, zoom controller, we are having status bar. Okay, so what about the quick access toolbar? As we know that if I want to undo or redo our data, and if I want to save our data, these three options would be appeared in your quick access toolbar, that is called quick access toolbar. Then we are having a title bar. So the name of your workbook, as you can see by default here, book 1, the name of the workbook is called title bar. What about the ribbon? All the tabs, all the groups under the tabs are a part of your ribbon. As you can see, we are having home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view. These are the tab name, and font, alignment, number, styles, cells, and editing. These are the groups of the home tab. So all of these are part of the ribbon. Okay, we can have A1 over here. So we can have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are the name of the column, and on your left side we are having numbers, and those numbers are representing rows. So we can have A1. So it means A is the column name, and 1 is the row number. As you can see, this cell is active, so this is the active cell, and A1 is showing the name of that active cell, or you can say address of that active cell. So name box is always showing you the name. In formula bar, we are supposed to write the formulas, and each and everything that you are going to write inside the cells, that would be shown in the formula bar. We are having vertical scroll bar and the horizontal scroll bar. When I want to move from top to bottom and bottom to top, I can scroll the scroll bar vertically, and if you want to move from left to right and right to left, you can scroll horizontal bar. And we are having status bar, and that status bar is showing the current position or the current status of your worksheet, and by default it's showing sheet 1, but there is a new sheet icon. By that we can add more worksheet, and we are having worksheet view option, and there are three different worksheet view option, like we are having normal view, we are having page layout view, and the page break view as well. From the zoom control, we can zoom in and zoom out the worksheet, it means we can increase or we can decrease the size as well. And if we would talk about the name of the columns, we are having different columns and we are having different number of rows as well. So rows are always numbered with 1 2 3, and columns will always having letters like A, B, C, D and so on. Then we are having different types of data, and we are having three types of the data, that is number, text and formula. Number, it's representing like 3, 9, 8, like from 0 to 9, and then the combination of those numbers. Text means we are going to write any alphabetical data in our cells as it's already labeled, and if I want to apply any formula, that would be written in the form of addition, subtraction, division or multiplication. Then we are having how can we select the cell. Before selecting the cell, we must keep one thing in our mind, that is the range and the contiguous. What is a range? Range is a rectangular block of contiguous cell. What is the contiguous? Means that touch each other, especially along a line. It means like when I'm going to select a number of cells, that would be there would be outline, dotted outline over there, and that is the contiguous cells. And range is going to show you the selected cells, like if I am going to select from A1 to A5, that would be selected cells. Like if I am going to select A1 till C5, so all these cells will be selected. So when I am going to select any cells to select, okay, as you know, we are having different ways of selecting cells, and here we are having using the mouse, using the extend mode, using the go to command, and then selecting multiple range of cells simultaneously. You can also select complete row and column, selecting the entire worksheet. These are the simple ways of selecting the cells, as we have already done in our class or in our previous lesson as well. I'm just going to go through all of these selection mode. First of all, using the mouse, with the help of the left mouse button, you can just move the mouse on the selected cells. If it's extend mode, you can just press the F8 button and your extend mode will be selected, and by that you can select multiple cells by clicking at once. And then we are having the go to command. In go to command, we can just write the address of the cells, like range of the cells, for example A1 colon C5, like that. And then we can, if you want to select multiple range of cells at the same time, you can just have to keep holding control key, and then you can select the range of cells. Then we are having the selecting complete row and column. For that, we just have to click on the row heading and the column heading. If I want to select the specific column, I just have to move my mouse pointer on the head of that column. For example, if I want to select B column, I just have to move my mouse pointer at the head of the B, and then I will select over there. Then we are having entire worksheet. If I want to select entire worksheet, as you can see on the left corner, top corner, we are having a button, that is blank button, that also called select all button. You just have to click over there, the entire worksheet will be selected. Or if you want to use the shortcut key, we are having Ctrl plus A shortcut key. By that we can select multiple cells, like that. Okay, now I'm going to start chapter number 8, that is about editing cell contents in Excel. Before that, we were just learning about how we can select the data, or how we can write the data on worksheet. Here we are going to learn how can we edit that cell contents, means how can we edit that cell data. First of all, they are talking about editing mode, and we are having two different ways by that we can add data, like by overwriting or by modifying. In overwriting, we are going to change the contents completely, and by modifying them partially means I will just correct the spelling mistakes. I'm not going to delete the data completely, or I'm not going to change the data completely. I will just make some kind of changings to the data. In overwriting, you just have to change the cell contents completely, not partially. Okay, then we are having undo and redo command. In undo command, I will just reverse the last action, and we are having Ctrl plus Z shortcut key. In redo command, we have to redo an action that you have undone, and for that we can just click on the redo button. and these two buttons are already appeared at the quick access toolbar, or otherwise you can also use the shortcut keys as well. Okay, now how can we delete cell contents? As we have learned already, for deleting the cell contents we are having three different ways, by using delete key on the keyboard, or by using the context menu. We just have to select the clear contents from the context menu. What is the context menu means? On the cell you just have to right click. Okay, after pressing the mouse right button, we are having the delete option over there. We can just delete the contents from there. Then we are having the home tab, and under the home tab we are having editing group, and under the editing group we are having clear button, and from the clear button we have to choose clear contents option. Keep one thing in your mind, it's not going to delete the cell, it's going to delete the cell contents, means the data that is already inside the cell. Then how can we copy and move our data? For example, I have already I have done with few kinds of lines over there, and I just want to copy those lines, or I just want to make some few copies of that data. I just have to select the data. Keep one thing in your mind, when you are going to edit your data, like when you are going to delete, when you are going to copy or move, when you are going to do any kind of modification, you just have to select your data first. Okay, select the data, and then you can just use the copy, and you can also use the shortcut keys like Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. and if I want to move the data, for moving the data you can just use the cut and paste command from the home tab, or you can also use the context menu, like you have to use the right mouse button as well, and for that you can also use the shortcut keys as well. Okay, how can we insert cells, rows and columns, and how can we delete cells, rows and columns? So simply it's very simple. It seems like the like deleting cell contents, we are having different options for inserting the cells, or inserting the rows or the columns. So for that we just have to go to the home tab, and under the home tab we are having the insert option, and by that we can insert different cells or different rows or the columns over there. So we are having the home tab, and in the home tab we are having cells group, and under the cells group we are having the insert button. And in insert button we are having different options, like we can have insert cells, insert rows and insert columns as well. And apart from this we can also have an option that is the context menu, and you have to just press the mouse right button, and we are having insert option over there. You can insert number of rows and number of columns over there, and same if you want to delete, you are also having the same options over there, the same tab and the same group. Like home tab, in the cells group we are having the delete button, and from the delete button we can also delete the cell, rows and columns. Okay, changing row height, as we know that by default the row height is 15 point, and then we can also increase the row height as well. We are having the home tab, and in the cells group we are having the format button. So the cell group is having three different buttons. The one is insert button, and the one is format button, and the delete button. From the format button we can just select the row height, and then you can change the row height. Same with the column width, we are having by default column width is 8.43, and by selecting the home tab and then the format button we can also change the column width as well. Okay, now come to the chapter number 9, that is all about the internet. As we all already familiar with the internet, by the internet we can do a lot of things. We can search data, we can search any kind of information, we can send data, we can receive data, and so on. What is internet? Internet stands for interconnected network, and it means like network is a combination of different computer systems that are connected together, and multiple networks are creating a simple internet connection. Okay, so what is the history of the internet? When the first computer network was introduced, that was introduced in 1969, and in United States, and they were having a Department of Defense, and they have decided to build a setup for their army forces, and that is called ARPANET, that is Advanced Research Project Agency Network, because they wanted to link with their army forces. So that's why they have introduced first computer network, but at that time they were having only one computer, and then it's increased to the 4 computer, and now we are in 5th generation of computer, and we are in advanced technology. So we are using multiple internet, and we are using multiple networks as well. Okay, what we can do by using the internet, we can get a lot of information, we can send messages, we can chat with our family members, we can buy things on internet, that is called online shopping, and in business term that is called e-commerce, where E stands for electronic, and by that we can do online shopping, like we can buy things over the internet, and we can also sell and purchase as well. Okay, what are the requirements for connecting to the internet? So for the connection, we are having 2 basic types of the connections. The one is dial-up and the other one is the broadband. Right now we are using broadband connection, because dial-up connection is not the advanced one, it's not a speedy one, so that's why we are moved to the broadband. But in dial-up connection we require a modem, a telephone line, and an internet service provider. And in broadband we also need a modem, and which can be wired or wireless, and an ISP. What is the ISP? ISP is the internet service provider. These are the companies that are providing us internet services. Modem stands for modulator or demodulator.